Today we're going to talk about this Coastal Off-Road front bumper that we got put together on New Year's Day. I finished it just the other day with the paint, so threw together a little video that I'm going to put some voiceover on and walk you through exactly how we put it together. So this bumper comes in 36 different pieces actually, so we laid all of them out and we numbered each one of them, so it would be a lot easier to put it together. I also want to give a huge shout out to Mr. Bo Elrod. He helped me put this thing together, especially on New Year's Day. He's always wanted to do one, but I'm really thankful that he was able to help me. What we're doing right now is that we did have to bend the power steering lines out of the way so the bumper would actually go on the car. We used a piece of angle iron to make a bracket and mount those where the lines would sit properly. They mount right under where they used to be. They're just rotated around. So we just added the front mounting plates, and right now we're adding the cross plate, which is actually going to be the back of the bumper. The factory drilled holes that came in the plates, they really aren't big enough, so I highly recommend drilling out those holes, which is what we did. It's going to make your life 10 times easier. This bumper does mount on the front and the side of the frame, 4 different mounting points. So we're bolting that side piece on right now, and then we'll start with tacking up some smaller pieces. The flat piece you just saw get tacked up is the winch plate where the winch is going to sit. The next piece that goes on is the fair lead front plate, and then right after that is the Coastal Off-Road front plate. Once those two plates go on, you can really start to see how this bumper is going to look, and I think it's going to look badass. We started working on the last piece of the middle section, which is the top plate. We did have an issue with the plate not fitting under the bottom bar of the grill. This bumper is really made for a Tundra, which they don't have that part under their grill, so I had to make a couple modifications. So what do? Yep, that's right. You guessed it. We break out the torch and we're going to cut it. Now that that piece is cut, we tacked it up into place and we're moving to the side. The instruction manual told us to start with one side and completely finish it before moving to the other side. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So the passenger side's getting wrapped up, and wow, does that look sick or is that just me? While he's wrapping that side up, tacking stuff up, I'm taking more puzzle pieces over to the driver's side to get ready for that side. After we tacked the top plate on for the driver's side, we noticed a bit more sag in the plates on that side. That's why you see me holding up on the pieces while he's tacking it together, trying to get it right. Now that the bumper's finished, it's looking freaking awesome. Bo's gonna go ahead and weld some stuff together while it's on the truck, what he can. Then we're gonna get it off the truck, finish all the welds, get it primed up, and get it back home.
So if you're looking at both in SEC 2 and 2 right now, what do you see?
So what we used to fill all the gaps was Bondo. That's what you see right here, the little pink stuff on the bumper. The instructions told us to bevel the edges. We could have done that, but I wanted a silky smooth finish, just like on a car. So we went ahead and bondoed everything, filled all the gaps in, sanded it down, grinded everything down, and got it ready for some primer. So we noticed whenever we put the bumper on that there was a gap that was kind of, right here, which there's supposed to be, but all this white right here shows. Not all this, but down here it shows, and you can see it in the gap right here. So what I'm gonna do is paint it. Got it all prepped up and ready for it, so time to get after it. So we got the bumper indoors now. It's off the truck. It's fully primed up. What I'm doing here is I'm sanding down the whole thing. And I'm also adding a little bit more primer to the hoop. It's getting ready for paint. Once I finish sanding it, we're going to throw it in the paint booth. Bam! Got it in the paint booth. It's in the exact same spot it was. We don't have an actual paint booth. I'm about to load it up with some spray paint. Make sure those coats are nice and even, or it's going to look like absolute crap. Once we get this done, I'll show you the finished product, and then I'll show it to you on the truck. So you could definitely go with buying a spray gun, and I'll probably end up doing that if I end up painting more things. But I wanted to see how this was going to turn out with the old rattle can. Honestly, it turns out pretty well, considering it's just spray paint. But if you're going to do anything bigger than that, I highly recommend going to your local paint shop, Harbor Freight even, just to grab a spray gun. Even if you're going to use it a couple of times, it might be worth it. We finished the bumper. It is done being painted. I went with this gloss gray just because the wheels on the Sequoia are gray, and I didn't want to do black because everybody does black, but
I think it turned out pretty well. It's pretty shiny. We're gonna get it on the truck here in a second. So here's what the finished product actually looks like. Like I said, I went with the gray to try and match the wheels. And I really think it turned out pretty well, but so thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, hit the like button, drop a comment on what else I should do or what you're gonna do to your rig. I really appreciate it. Don't forget #LSS, like, share, subscribe.